Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for northeast Kansas and southeast Nebraska. Slight chance of rain showers today, otherwise sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Daytime highs approaching 70. Clear skies tonight, lows level off around 50. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Tomorrow, slight chance of rain showers. Highs level off around 82. I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Right now, it's 34 degrees.
Kansas Mid-American Network News. I'm Andy Hoosier. Being just a couple days away from the official quote-unquote Black Mass that's set to be performed at the state capitol, Chris Jones, a religious studies professor at Washburn University, sat down to talk about what to expect and why the Black Mass is even happening in the first place from the organization known as the Satanic Grotto.
And a way to get attention. It's a way to have an impact. It's a way to offend people. It's not because they necessarily hate Christianity. It's because they see Christianity as having this sort of dominant position in American society, and they want to challenge that. When you're looking at somebody else's religion, somebody else's culture, try to suspend judgment. In fact, I will quote Ted Lasso and say, be curious, not judgmental.
That audio from KSNT News, where he says that satanic organizations around the country like to do these types of performances in order to gain attention to themselves and fight what they call the dominant establishment of religion. Kansas Mid-American Network News.
Spending time in the backyard can be a great time for all your family and friends. Burwell Construction can make your backyard look its best with a new deck and patio cover. Wood or composite decks, Burwell Construction will help you design the perfect space for all your outdoor fun. And Burwell Construction can secure your backyard with a new fence. 316-794-3430. 316-794-3430 or burwellconstruction.com.
It's Burwell, it's Burwell. Burwell Construction.
Do you suffer from numbness, tingling, burning, or cramping in your feet, hands, or legs? Midwest Pain Relief Center is effectively treating many cases with these exact symptoms, helping patients find relief without endless medications. If you're someone who deals with any of these symptoms, our program could be the answer you're looking for. Call today to schedule a consultation at 620-478-2878. That's 620-478-2878. You can visit our website at MidwestPainReliefCenter.com. Midwest Pain Relief Center, preserving joints and restoring lives.
The Orbis Corporation has announced as of the end of last week that they have decided to shut down their processing plant at their Osage City facility in Topeka, Kansas. KSNT News reports the 200,000 square foot plastic manufacturing and warehouse space currently employs roughly 79 individuals, but said the plant closure was decided due to the size, age, and configuration of the city plant. The company says they are working on modernization and reconfiguration that is not available at that current warehouse as they plan to move elsewhere, releasing a statement saying, quote, as manufacturing technology has evolved, modernizing our manufacturing fleet is critical to our growth and long-term performance. We are diligently working with impacted employees to provide support during this transition time. The company did announce that they will be moving much of their equipment to other plants in the nation, along with moving to nearby areas like Canada and Mexico, as the Orbis Corporation said plastic pressing equipment will begin moving out starting on April 7th and will continue on through September of this year. But American Network News.
Don't risk finding out if your farm is underinsured when you have a loss. Insuring to the accurate value of your livestock, equipment, structures, and inventory is an important consideration when reviewing your insurance coverage. Blue Valley Insurance can help you protect your farm or ranch with a tailored policy that combines various coverage into one convenient package. Let's discuss your need and keep your property values up to date at Blue Valley Insurance of Lynn, Greenleaf, Hanover, and Marysville.
Nebraska Mid-American Network News. I'm Andy Hoosier. Legislators in the state of Nebraska say they are trying to crack down on, quote, nicotine and nicotine-like products in the state after advancing a bill last week that would add 20% wholesale excise tax on alternative products. As according to the Nebraska Examiner, the legislative bill voted 41-0 by the legislature. Advanced Bill Legislative 9 that would define alternative nicotine products and nicotine analogs in state law, saying the goal is to target all the future products that may be coming into the state rather than requiring specific legislation each time. The change would capture nicotine pouches like the brand Zen, creating a, quote, umbrella for enforcement that said is needed to help curb youth usage of the drugs while generating revenue for the state. If passed this year, the legislation would take effect as of January January 1 of 2026 and is estimated to bring in roughly $3.4 million to the state in the first 2 years. They say other bills are in discussion as well to increase or add taxes and regulations to all nicotine products.
Every great sandwich should start with a great bread, which is why Mrs. Baird's puts as much care and pride into baking wholesome and delicious breads as you put into every sandwich. From toasted whole grains to natural honey and molasses, Mrs. Baird's breads are made from only the best stuff to fuel you and your family. So whether it's PB&J on whole grain white or turkey and Swiss on honey 7 grain, Mrs. Baird's has a delicious, nutritious bread to build it on. Mrs. Baird's, baking breads that taste great since 1908.
Reporting local news, I'm Bruce DeErking. An ordinance allowing raising chickens, ducks, and quail within city limits in Marysville, within defined parameters, passed on a 5-3 vote Monday, with council members Ferris, Behrens, and Throm voting no. Following, a permit and fee ordinance was adopted unanimously. Council showed hesitation in adding language to the city fireworks ordinance proposed by Vernita Peaks, who had met with the council previously. Her proposal was to disallow deliberate or extreme carelessness in discharge of fireworks. Police did confirm that existing laws had greater force, and a city ordinance change may limit level of prosecution. It was noted not more than 2 residents had expressed concern with the current fireworks ordinance on the books. After a back and forth, the matter was referred to the Police and Fire Committee to further discuss and bring forward a recommendation. Approval was given with unanimous consent for a low bid of $1.3 million with Carlson Construction of Topeka for the 15th Street Storm Sewer Project. The bids were within engineer estimates. An agreement gifting the Kester House Museum property to the Kester House Museum Foundation was approved. This has been in the works for some time and is slated to be completed in April. Closure of streets around the historic Union Pacific Depot April 5th for Museum Day and April 11th and 12th for a Trail Life event, and for closure of several streets downtown for the Marysville Eye Promenade and Prom Walk planned Saturday, April 12th, beginning at 5:30 on the 7th Street corridor south of the Pony Express statue were approved. The Prom Walk is planned downtown at 6 p.m. Approval was granted Kiwanis Club for use of the city park for the annual Easter egg hunt Saturday, April 12th from noon to 2. Extension of a condemnation was granted for a fire-damaged property at 904 May Street. New owners are making improvements and plan to complete renovation on the structure within the next year. City Administrator advised work continues on improvements to the public bathrooms at the city park and should be completed by spring. A budget workshop is planned for the council March 28th. Interviews continue for hiring a new police chief. Deb Schwinneman was approved as deputy city clerk. Recommendations were presented for a mayor youth advisory council. Seniors Emily Rockwell, Grant Hafley, juniors Garrett Staggs, James Busman, sophomores Lily Vogt, Josephine Knopf, and freshmen Emmeline Holly and Eli Freeze. That was approved unanimously. An organizational meeting for the Marysville Sparklers is planned Thursday evening. The volunteer group weeds, plants, and cares for the city flower beds and green spaces. It requires about an hour a week through October, and you can work on your own or with a team. Anyone interested is welcome Thursday evening at 5:15 at City Hall in Marysville, or contact Wayne Cruzy with One Marysville. The annual Washington County Township meeting is Thursday evening at the FNB Bank Basement Meeting Room in Washington. Dinner serves at 5. US 77 through Beatrice was reopened past the former Dempster plant, which was partially demolished following a large fire Saturday evening, creating a hazard for falling building material. A concrete barrier was placed alongside the highway past the building this week after the center section, which was heavily damaged, was removed. Work continues on demolition of the back of the property. Firemen were still on the scene Monday controlling hot spots as the investigation into the fire continued. Washington County authorities report a recent scam that a City of Washington utility customer had received a call from Evergy advising of potential termination due to issues with payment information on file. The city-owned utility is not connected with Evergy. Any calls would come directly from the City of Washington. Anyone with concerns should contact the city directly. Francis F. Rottinghouse, age 97, of Seneca, passed away Sunday. Massive Christian burial, Thursday, 10:30 at St. Peter and Paul's Catholic Church in Seneca. Burial, St. Bede's Catholic Church Cemetery. Rosary Wednesday at 2 and again at 7 p.m. at the Lauer Funeral Home of Seneca, in charge of arrangements for Francis Rottinghouse. John G. Tucker, age 72, of Diller, passed away Saturday. Funeral service Friday, 11 a.m. at the Harmon Wright Mortuary in Beatrice. Interment in the Evergreen Home Cemetery at Beatrice. Visitation Thursday, noon until 8. Family will greet friends Thursday from 5 until 7 at the Harmon Wright Mortuary, Beatrice, in charge of arrangements for John Tucker. Marta C. Gudenkoff, age 89, of Seneca, passed away Tuesday. Massive Christian burial, Friday, 11 a.m. at St. Peter and Paul's Catholic Church in Seneca. Burial in the church cemetery. Rosary, Thursday evening at 7 at the Lauer Funeral Home of Seneca, in charge of arrangements for Marta Gudenkoff. On the Marshall County Senior Citizens Lunch Menu today, pork loin, cheesy potatoes, green beans, and fruit cocktail. Thursday's menu, chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, sliced carrots, and red-hot applesauce. KNDY News Time, 7:14.
With United Bank and Trust online banking, you have access to your hometown bank 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year at ubankonline.com. You can view account balances, access statements, and transfer money between your UBT accounts. You can also view account activity, pay bills, and even make loan payments without being limited by banking hours. Simply visit ubankonline.com to learn more. Online banking with United Bank and Trust. It's banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for northeast Kansas and southeast Nebraska. A slight chance for some rain showers early on today, otherwise mostly sunny with our highs in the lower to upper 70s, and clear overnight tonight with our lows in the upper 40s and lower 50s. Some rain showers are possible throughout Thursday, mostly cloudy with our highs in the lower to mid 80s. Rain showers may continue throughout Thursday night, partly cloudy with our lows in the upper 50s and lower 60s. South winds between 10 and 15 and gusting as high as 30. Some sunshine on Friday with our highs in the upper 70s and lower 80s. Then some rain showers throughout Friday night, mostly cloudy with our lows in the upper 50s and lower 60s. South winds between 10 and 15 and gusting as high as 35. There will be a chance for some rain showers throughout Saturday, otherwise partly sunny with our highs in the lower to upper 70s. Then showers and thunderstorms possible into Saturday night, mostly cloudy with our lows in the mid 30s and lower 40s. Rain showers are possible throughout Sunday as well, mostly cloudy with our highs in the upper 40s and mid 50s, and more rain may continue throughout Sunday night with a slight chance for some snow showers with our lows in the upper 20s and lower 30s. I'm meteorologist Kara Foster.
Average high temperature late March, 60. Record high in this state, 90. The average low, 35, and the record low, 5. Sunrise this morning, 7:21. Sunset this evening at 7:45. It's 37 degrees, just ahead of sunrise. That's a check of the morning news and weather for this Wednesday, the 26th of March. KNDY News Time, 7:17. I'm Bruce Dierking reporting.
Dr. Brittany here with Marysville Dental Care, where your family's health is our top priority. Dr. Zach, our team, and I are the family dental home you've always been looking for.
Our comprehensive dental care is designed to serve all of your dental needs. Whether it's a routine cleaning, braces, or cosmetic work, we provide the highest quality of care with a comfortable experience. Visit our office across from the Marysville Courthouse or go to marysvilledentalcare.com to schedule a visit.
Have the smile you've always wanted with our team by your side.
Playing spoiler in South Beach. Good morning, I'm Jay Reynolds. Jimmy Butler goes back to Miami last night, but the Heat playing the role of spoiler. Warriors with Butler, but without Steph Curry, never led. Miami wins it 112-86 over Golden State. Thunder beat the Kings 121-105 for their 60th win of the season. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 32 in the win, his NBA best 45th 30-point game. Detroit by 26 over the Spurs, win number 41 on the season, their most since 2019.
Cavs beat Portland 122-111. Knicks get past Dallas by 15. Both Karl Anthony Towns and Josh Hart with triple-doubles. Grizzlies blow out the Jazz 140-103. Houston 121-114 win over the Hawks. Rockets go 2 games up on Denver for second in the Western Conference. Bucks say Damian Lillard has a blood clot in his right calf. He'll be sidelined indefinitely. NCAA tournaments pick up again this week. Meanwhile, NIT action on Tuesday, and we have half of their Final Four teams.
Winner to the semifinals. Newman for 3 in the win. No!
He had it.
And North Texas moves on to the semifinals of the NIT, hanging on with a 61-59 win.
North Texas gets past Oklahoma State. They go to the semis in Indianapolis. Also headed to Indy, Chattanooga, which hangs on for a 67-65 win over Bradley. On the ice, Jets beat the Capitals 3-2 in overtime. Winnipeg clinching a playoff berth in the loss. Alex Ovechkin picks up a goal. He's 5 away from tying Wayne Gretzky, 6 away from breaking the records. Blues beat the Canadiens 6-1. St. Louis has won 7 straight. Golden Knights a 5-1 win over the Wild. Hat trick for Jack Eichel. Atlanta was the inaugural TGL championship. Football, Russell Wilson has a 1-year deal with the Giants. $10.5 million guaranteed.
This is the sale you've been waiting for. The Macy's Spring VIP sale is here. Exclusive savings on the season's most loved brands with an extra 30% off Avec La Fille, Karl Lagerfeld, DKNY, and more. Plus, get 15% off beauty essentials from MAC, Armani Beauty, and too many others to mention. So get to the Macy's Spring VIP sale tomorrow and shop brands you love at prices you'll love even more. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
So, you want to buy a house. You could go online, do your research, find the dream listing, go see it, and get catfished. Back to the drawing board. More scheduling, more viewings, more, this doesn't even look like the photos. You could finally find one that does match the photos. Then comes the offer. Stress rush? Yep, make that 3. And here's the paperwork. Yep, never-ending paperwork. It's a lot. But you don't have to do it alone. Because there's an agent who's a realtor here to guide and help protect you as you find the home that's right for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Bite Me Barbecue has more than just great barbecue. Of course, they have delicious pulled pork, brisket, sausage, burnt ends, and more, but they also feature other choices as well, with excellent food at affordable prices. Don't forget, they can bring the menu to your family gathering, special event, wedding, or business function. Check out Bite Me Barbecue in Marysville, also online and on Facebook.
From ABC News, Wall Street now. Stock futures were slightly lower overnight after the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq both posted gains Tuesday, the third consecutive for the Standard & Poor's. The Dow Jones ended yesterday a fraction above where it started. Shares in Tesla slipped in after-hours trading on word that Chinese EV rival BYD has leapt past it in terms of annual revenue. BYD had revenue of $107 billion for 2024, compared with $97.7 billion at Tesla. The latest warning about the nation's finances comes from ratings agency Moody's, which says the strength of the economy is waning as budget deficits grow. Still, Moody's gives the country its top AAA rating. Elliott Investment Management, the investor group that forced sweeping changes at Southwest Airlines, including the introduction of bag fees, has its sights set on Phillips 66. Elliott has filed suit as it pushes for broader control of the energy company's board of directors. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
In agriculture, weed control is a costly and time-consuming process. Upgrade your sprayer's efficiency with the newest PWM technology from Cottage Hill Ag Supply in Waterville. Pulse width modulation controls your sprayer's flow rate and pattern, providing better accuracy and coverage on weeds, while most importantly, saving you money on chemical. Covering more ground in less time means you can focus on growing your operation. So call Darren today at 785-363-6101. Don't miss out on smarter, more efficient spraying practices for years to come with a new PWM sprayer system from Cottage Hill Ag Supply, located south of Waterville.
Good Wednesday morning.
I'm your power broadcaster, Sam Speck, with your latest market information here on the Mid-America Ag Network. Well, as we inch closer to yet another day of trade, let's first and foremost get you a quick recap of how things wrapped up yesterday. We'll also take a dive through the overnight pre-trade session to kind of get a sneak preview as to what traders are thinking about here this morning throughout the grains and the oilseeds. But again, we'll start with yesterday's livestock numbers and where they finished, as it was a generally two-sided day of trade, especially in the cattle markets. We did see April live cattle gain 47 up to 206.37. June up 17 cents to 202.32, but the later contracts were still a bit weaker. Same story for the feeder cattle contracts. The March was up 37 to 286.97, though April was down 40 cents at 284.85. Hogs, though, were a bit higher on the day, pretty much from the get-go. April lean hogs finished up 95 cents to 86.65. May up 50 to 89.05. Taking a look now through the grains and oilseeds, again through the overnight pre-trade session, as we're seeing minimal movement, but for the most part, a little bit of pressure this morning. Chicago, spring, Kansas City wheat all a couple cents lower. May, Kansas City wheat's down 1.5 at 5.67 3/4. July down a penny at 5.83 3/4 cents. Oats are a bit mixed this morning, as we see the May contract down a penny at 3.66 but July's up a half to 3.67 Corn's also a mixed bag this morning. May corn up a penny to 4.58 3/4. July also up a cent to 4.66 1/4 and soybeans trending just slightly higher as well. May beans up 1 3/4 to 10.03 July up 1.5 to 10.17 1/4 May soybean meal up 10 to 295.20, and soy oil's higher as well, up 20 points to 42.50. Cotton also trending a bit higher this morning. May cotton up 35 to 65.49. Into the energy markets, we've got crude oil up 64 to 69.64 a barrel. Unleaded gas up a penny to 2.22 a gallon. Heating oil up 1 to 2.29, and natural gas up 1 at 3.85. Sam Speck through the Mid-America Ag Network.
From Kansas State University, this is Agriculture Today. I'm Jacob Clout. With more methods of communication present in modern workplaces than ever before, communication continues to change, which can be tough to navigate, says K-State Extension beef cattle specialist Justin Wagner. He shares an example that highlights the importance of effective communication at the organizational level.
You know, emergency action plans kind of highlight that. And in the event of X happening, this is how we're going to communicate. This is what we're going to communicate. This is where we're going to meet. All those things that you think about. And so, you know, safety and communication, I think that highlights the importance of communication in that aspect. But it's every day, right? It's ongoing. It's how we get the work done. And so we can't underscore the value of communication really in the workplace. But there's some great examples.
He reminds people that messages can accidentally be taken not as intended.
Clearly define that message. Identify before we send the message, right? Identify the purpose of the message. What is the intent? And then more so than ever, you know, we have these methods of communication like email and text they don't convey emotion, right? So as the sender, I think we have to be increasingly aware of the physical as well as the emotional environment that we're sending that message into. You know, word choice, right? Words don't have emotion, but they do, right? They carry with them emotional meaning and context. So let's talk a little bit about the receiver. Focus on the message. You know, what is being conveyed? I think it's also best to always assume positive intent, right? I mean, oftentimes as a receiver of a message, we insert our, you know, emotions and, you know, our own perspectives into that message. And we really need to be careful about that.
Wagner discusses what to avoid in correspondences with coworkers.
Be careful of inserting your own personal bias. There's sometimes, as you think about the email that came across in all caps with an exclamation point, right? People, you know, are going to perceive that very differently. It may have just been that they inadvertently got their caps lock stuck. It may have been that was the message that and how they wanted to convey that. And so I think that's, you know, some of the things of what not to do. You know, we always want to use some good etiquette in those communications, like be polite. Think about, you know, the letters that you used to draft. And I think we've lost a little bit of that in the modern workplace, but that's a good thing to come back to. Of, you know, be respectful, you know, clearly state the objective.
That was Kansas State University Extension beef cattle specialist Justin Wagner on communicating in the workplace. I'm Jacob Clout. This has been Agriculture Today over the K-State Radio Network.
Leuenberger in Waterville has dependable Sim-Angus Cross bulls for sale. All black with a few black baldies. These feature good disposition and hybrid vigor with calving ease. Yearling bulls ready for immediate pickup or delivery. Call Leuenberger today at Waterville, 785-268-0647.
Planning a springtime road trip? We will share some old-time legends that could make or break your journey on the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report.
If you're a farmer or rancher, chances are you've thought about joining Kansas Farm Bureau. So what's stopping you? Your membership means you have a seat at the table when it comes to the issues that affect your farm. Things like trade, taxes, water, and regulations. The state's largest farm advocacy organization brings your message to policy decision makers at the county, state, and national level. The voice of agriculture becomes your voice and fights for Kansas farmers and ranchers. And a Kansas Farm Bureau membership includes other benefits. For about $50 a year, you'll receive discounts on equipment and supplies, cell phone plans, financial and legal support, home and office supplies, and more. You'll also receive Kansas Living, a quarterly lifestyle magazine featuring real stories of farmers and producers around the state, plus great recipes, crafts, and things to see and do in Kansas. Join us today. Visit kfb.org/farmer-rancher to learn more.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Wednesday, March 26th, the 85th day of the year. Singers Diana Ross, Steven Tyler, and Kenny Chesney all share a birthday today. We've been looking at old superstitions surrounding travel, and the list of proverbs is endless. Consider these bad luck omens: embarking on a Friday, returning to get a forgotten item, meeting a white horse on the road, or cleaning house on the day of travel. What's good luck for your journey? Beginning on a Sunday, finding a horseshoe on the road, seeing a hedgehog, a red horse, or a deer. And we'll leave you with this proverb for the pages of the almanac: the crescent moon that is waxing is good luck for lovers and travelers. That is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for today. Find our best days chart for more activities at almanac.com.
It's 7:30 from KNDY, now 34 degrees. Highs around 70 on a repeat high from yesterday.
Sam's back with your latest Mid-America Sports Network update, as it's going to be a fun one on the diamond here for a couple of regional teams. And after looking back to its first series win at Baylor since 2017, K-State returns to Tointon Family Stadium to take on former Big 12 rival Nebraska tonight, set for a 6 p.m. first pitch. K-State's 15-8 on the year, 5-1 Big 12 play currently, brings it atop the Big 12 standings after capturing their second conference series of the season. Nebraska comes into today's matchup at 10-13, returns to the Midwest following an 8-game road trip in across California. The Cornhuskers finished 3-5 on that trip to the West Coast. Also, some other scheduling hits for tonight in Wichita State softball news. They will play 5 games at Wilkins Stadium this week, getting midweek matchups against Central Arkansas and the number 1 team in the country, Oklahoma. They secured its second straight conference win last week, taking 2 of 3 against UTSA. The Shockers were swept at number 24 FAU just 2 weeks ago, making first conference sweep since 2015 and against Southern Illinois.
Marysville High baseball and softball teams swept Shabetha in doubleheaders Thursday, opening the season. Bulldog baseball team won 13-10 and 16-12, while the softball girls won 6-2 and 16-6. Softball has games at Onega, which were added to the schedule this Thursday. Valley Heights softball and baseball season open Thursday at Centralia, and Frankfort baseball is at Onega Thursday.
Many area high school basketball coaches were honored by Sports in Kansas, a statewide media outlet covering high school athletics, as finalists for Coach of the Year for the 2024-25 basketball season. Starting with girls selection, finalists included in Class 4A, Dalton Haste of Clay Center and Trevor Keller of Rock Creek. In 3A, Kelsey Nelson of Riley County. 2A finalists included Jordan Brockschman of Valley Heights and Perry Smith of Donovan West. Class 1A Division I included Dusty Thompson of the state title-winning Centralia Panthers and Kyron Wirtz of Clifton Clyde. In Class 1A Division II girls selections, 1/3 of the finalists came from the TVL, with Chris Bikeman of the state champion Hanover Wildcats, Trevor Kuhlman with state runner-up in Lynn, and Brad Brockschman of the Axtell Eagles. In all, 10 area girls coaches were nominated as finalists for Coach of the Year across 5 classifications. In boys nominations, Justin Smith of Rock Creek and Kyle Taylor of Abilene were nominated in Class 4A, John Thomas of Nemaha Central in Class 3A, while Twin Valley League coaches included Frankfort second-year head coach and alum Adam Schreiner in Class 1A Division I, along with Josh Scotchney of Clifton Clyde. In Class 1A Division II, Coach of the Year nominations included Corey Jensen of Hanover and Jason Tynan of the state champion Axtell Eagles. Again, area girls nomination for Coaches of the Year included Valley Heights' Jordan Brocksterman, Centralia's Dusty Thompson, Hanover's Chris Bikeman, Lynn's Trevor Kuhlman, and Axtell's Brad Brocksterman. Boys nomination included Frankfort's Adam Schreiner, Hanover's Corey Jensen, and Axtell's Jason Tynan. All coaches were nominated for Coach of the Year through Sports in Kansas, with winners to be announced at a later date. The entire list can be found on the KNDY Facebook page.
KNDY.